don't care.
That's the spirit. Let's take this off and stay a while.
Say, isn't that a beauty?
Yes, aren't they nice? Taken me years to collect them.
They don't have to worry about dresses.
Are you still bothering about those stupid people? Or are you thinking about Wayne?
Oh.
He likes you, Laurie. What? Didn't you see him upset that young fellow?
No.
One good blow in the jaw.
Oh, he probably did it because they laughed at him.
No, he did it because of you. Laurie, I've got the most magnificent idea. Excuse me just a minute. Look, darling.
Oh.
You like it? It's one I had when I was your age, but it was too small for me, and I think it'll just fit you. Jump up. You hold it there. Oh, it's precious on you, dear. Now, I'll shorten it, you see. Oh.
Who is it?
Laurie! Well, at last I found you.
What do you want?
What do I want? I want to see you. Come on out.
Listen, kid. I ain't got time to sit.
Yeah, you look tired, Nora.
I am working all the time.
Yeah, that's it. That's a pity.
Pity? Since when did you start getting sorry for folks?
You sit down there. I got something I want to talk.
Mortgage ain't got a cent, kid.
Ain't about the mortgage. Something else. You notice I got the place all fixed up?
Yes, I can see a change.
No, lately.
Yeah. Mean you're going to make it for folks? For me?
Yeah. I want to try to learn to be kinder. I'm a rich man, got nobody to spend it on. I get kind of lonesome sometimes.
What you driving at?
Well, Nora, what did you say if I was to marry?
Might make a difference, but I doubt it. Who you thinking of?
Laurie.
Laurie? Jed Carson, you're crazy. Laurie's no more than a child.
A dang good offer. I'll give you back the mortgage and some money to boot. Better think it over, because where are you going to be in the next few years? You'll wind up in the house, that's where.
I ain't scared of that.
The poorhouse, Nora. Well, you're going to talk to her? Or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it.
Ever again disturb the beauty in your heart? Angry?
No. I just didn't think it would happen here in the swamp.
Swamp? Why, this is the enchanted glade. It's all right. All right. It's another world where dreams come true.
Do you believe that, too? Oh, you're back.
Mm-hmm. Been this swamp?
Yes, but just for a minute. Just a minute.
Expect it's pretty there today. Be going with you sometime.
Why, Aunt Nora. Why, you'd love it. It's all just like another world where your dreams come true.
Time I rested and dreamed and eased my tired body at last. A lot of things we'll be doing soon.
Why, Aunt Nora, what's happened? You're so different. You're almost as happy as I am.
We won't have to be worrying about the mortgage anymore. Laurie, think of that.
Why, I don't understand. Tell me quickly.
Jed Carson's willing to marry you.
Oh.
What's the matter with that? Oh, Jed ain't bad. He's the richest man the Limberlost.
No. Marry him. I won't. I won't. And I wouldn't marry him if he was the last man in this world.
You'll do what I say. He'll give you a good home. Buy you all the books and pretty things you've been wanting. He'll give us a deed to the land and money so we won't have to work so hard.
Oh, I don't mind work. I want to work. I'll do everything, Aunt Nora. You won't have to do a thing. But please don't make me marry him.
You fool! You'll do what I say.
I won't. I won't. I know how to make you.
You gotta do something, Miss Mason. You gotta do something.
Don't make such a fuss.
Mrs. Mason. Mrs. Mason. You know that Carson is... No!
Oh, there. You're with Sarah. Nora's been talking to you. I know all about it. Chris just told me.
I won't marry him. I'd rather die first.
You're not going to die, and you're not going to marry him. I'll get Paul. He'll know what to do.
Well, howdy, boys. How's the game going? Huh? Uh-oh, he's got you beat again.
Shh. He's in there.
Oh!
Hello, Nate. Fine day.
Hey, you ain't sick, are you?
Dick, I never felt better in my life. Here's an order for you. Look it over.
It's a pretty big order, Jed.
Yes, sir. I'm going to need it.
Having a party?
Party. Yes, sirree.
Jed, you ain't figuring on getting married again, are you?
Now, do you know any reason why I shouldn't?
Well, no.
I remember your last wedding.
Oh, Jed, fess up, will you?
Oh, well, you'll all know soon enough. You'll all be invited. Now, get that out for me right away, will you, Nate?
I'll bet's a wedding. Oh, who'd marry him? What do you think, Nate?
I ain't saying.
Pa! Jed Carson's going to marry Laurie.
What?
It's an 80. You'll let him do it, will you?
No.
You won't let him do it.
Sit down. No.
He won't. I'll fix him. I know what I'll do. I'll kill him. That's what I'll do. I'll kill him.
You mustn't talk like that. What are you going to do, Pa? You can't let this happen. Oh, think of something.
Now, Sarah, don't take on so. There's no sense in getting Laurie any more upset than she is. Chris, you go and hitch up the team.
Yes, sir.
Now, look. Now, Sarah, get the lunch ready, and as soon as he gets hitched up, we'll be on our way.
Oh.
You'll what? I'd like to see you try it. Get on home, you.
Please, Nora.
Shut up! Get going!
I won't do it, I tell you. I'll run away first.
You're not going to let this child marry Jed Carson.
And why not? I aim to do what's best for Laurie. Jed's the richest man in these here parts, and he'll be a good husband to her.
Nora, your own flesh and blood.
Mind your business.
Nora, I ain't going to let you do it. Carson's a drunken brute, and you know it.
I'm Laurie's guardian. You try to stop me, and I'll have the law on you. I mean it.
Sarah, you follow him. See if you can find out what it's all about. I'm going to talk to Carson.
No, Pa.
Now, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing.
Team's hitched, Mr. Nathan.
All right, Chris, you tend to the store till I get back.
Yes, sir.
Y'all just want your ma. Now, I'll tell you.
I don't want to know. I don't want to hear anything.
She was like you. She wanted to marry out of the swamp. Well, she did. And after you was born, he run off and left her without a dollar to her name. His folks is rich. She couldn't do nothing. There weren't no wedding license.
Oh, no.
It's the truth I'm telling you, Laurie. She come back to the swamp with you in her arms. And afterwards, she threw herself in and drowned. In that place, you love so well to hide your birds and butterflies.
I don't believe you.
Folks around here thought it was an accident. What'd they say if they found out she'd done it on purpose? And why?
Nora, you're lying. It's a bag of lies, and you know it.
Oh, come back here, Laurie. You're going to do what I say. You're going to marry Jed Carson, or I'm going to tell him about your ma. Then what'll your fine friends in Plainville think? Better make up your mind to marry a man of your own kind. What are you going to do, Laurie? You don't want me to tell him about your ma, do you?
No.
Do you?
No. I will. All right, I will. I'll marry you.
You can't come in here.
Jed, I want a word with you.
Don't tell me you're bringing that order already.
No, I'm bringing you warning.
Warning?
You get it out of your head that you're marrying Laurie, or something's going to happen to you.
Where did you hear that, Nate?
I didn't hear it. It's coming from me.
You must have said something to make her change. I can't believe she did it herself.
You didn't believe she'd get smart, did you? Well, another caller. My, ain't we getting popular now? Ain't welcome. Get out.
I'll get out when I find out what devilment's behind all this.
Get out now.
There's no use, Pa. Laurie's willing.
Ha! You hear that? She's willing. Now go back and sell your potatoes.
Who said so?
Laurie did.
Of course she did. She came to her senses. No sane girl's gonna miss a chance like this.
Laurie. Laurie,
Let her alone.
come down.
You old meddler.
Uncle Nate.
Look at me.
What's the matter, Uncle Nate?
Did you say you was willing?
Of course I did. I could see how good it would be for me. An ugly, despised swamp girl marrying the richest man in the Limberlost.
You ain't telling the truth.
Tis the truth. I can have everything I want. All the books and beautiful dresses. Everything in the world. You didn't think I'd miss a chance like that, did you?
Look at me. You're lying.
I'm not. I'm not, I tell you. Can't you leave me alone? Can't you see I'm only trying to do what I want to do?
I hope you're satisfied. Now go on about your business. Both of you.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. You ain't fooling me for a minute. I don't know what you said, but it must have been something rotten. Nora, if you was a man, I'd break every bone in your body. Come on, Sarah.
Hello, Mrs. Nagel. Come in, come in. Look here. You go right on in the front room. You'll find plenty of refreshments in there. Now, boys, out through the kitchen, down in the back, you know what you'll find. Something stronger than lemonade. Oh, Jonas.
Howdy, Jed.
How's the checker game, eh?
Fine.
Here's your old pal here. Right through that way, you know. Down by the barn, eh? Hello, Mrs. Smith. Right in the front room there. That's your way. You know what you'll find out there.
Can't bear it. Can't seem to realize it. How could this happen to our little girl? Laurie, it isn't too late.
It was good of Jed to buy you such a fine dress.
Laurie, Nathan's downstairs. If you'll only tell us why you're doing this, I know he can do something to stop it.
Well, what's everybody so quiet about? Come on now, folks. Liven up a little bit. Come on down around the punch bowl. Have a drink. It's all on me. Here, Libby. I'll bet you ain't had a drink yet. Here you are. That's good for what ails you. Now sit down there and play me a nice tune, will you? Come on, come on. That's a good girl, Libby. Here, here. You can't wash that cake down with a dry whistle. Here. There we are. Yeah. Well, Nate, what you looking so glum about? What you need is a good drink of hard liquor out there with the boys.
I ain't thirsty.
Well, Nate, this is an occasion for celebration, ain't it?
Is it?
Well, I'm getting married, ain't I?
I don't know whether you are or not.
Eh? Nothing can stop it now, Nate. Nothing.
Come on, folks. Cheer up. Have a good time. This is a wedding. I'm getting married. Jed Corson's getting married. Come on, Libby. Play something lively. Something lively. I'll be right back, folks.
Ain't it beautiful? It must have cost a plenty. Who is it?
Jed.
It's bad luck to see the bride.
Yeah. I know. She's about ready, ain't she?
Yes.
Fine. I'll tell the folks.
Nora, you're the only mother she's ever known. You carried her in your arms when she was a baby. Now you're putting her... Never. All your life it'll gnaw at your conscience.
You worry about your own conscience.
Be sure you're turned to the right page, Parson. I'll go down and get the boys.
Are you sure you don't want one, Sheriff?
No, not for me. Chris, where are you going with that gun?
Gonna kill something. Over by the barn.
Hey, Abner, I'm a pretty good shot myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just killed a quart.
Hey, boys! Come on in!
Here comes the bride.
Get Jed. Somebody get Jed Carson.
Laurie, you forgot your bouquet.
Don't come near me. I've never hated anyone before. I've never wanted to. But I hate you. And I'll hate you till I die.
What are you doing with that gun, Chris?
You ain't gonna marry her.
I'm gonna adopt her, Chris. She's gonna be your sister. Gonna take care of you. Now I'm gonna beat you within an inch of your life.
So that's what you're going to do with a gun.
Chris just killed Jed.
Come in. Why, Laurie, how nice to see you, dear. Oh, isn't the little dress becoming?
Oh, yes, I love it. You said you'd like to buy my butterflies.
Yes, I did, Laurie.
Well, I brought them.
Oh. Oh. Why, they're so nicely mounted. Why, but Laurie, this is your whole collection.
Yes, I know. I have to have some money.
Well, how much do you need?
Would $20 be too much?
Oh, $20 for these. Why, they're worth very much more. Let me see now. I have 50 here. I'll give you the rest another time. Will that help you?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dear. And won't you stay and have a cup of tea?
I'd love to, but I have to go. Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you...
Oh, sit down.
Did you hear about Chris?
Yes, I've read the paper.
Well, will you be his lawyer? I have the money.
Why were you marrying this man, Corson?
Well, he was rich and we were poor and I thought it was a good idea.
Who was we?
I didn't mean we, just me.
Did someone influence you?
No. I can't say.
I've got to know. If I'm going to take the case, I've got to know everything.
Please don't ask me about it because I can't talk about it.
Did you love him?
No.
Did it mean anything to you the other day when I kissed you? Do you like me?
Yes.
Well, that'll do for the present. I'll take the case.
Oh, thanks. Here.
Oh, no, you keep that.
Oh.
No, don't go. We've got a lot of work to do. Got to get the facts. I'll have to see you often. Will you be back?
Well, yes, I'll be back, but I have to tell Chris about it.
You just have a few minutes, miss.
Chris.
Laurie.
Oh, Chris. You didn't kill Jed Corson, did you?
No, I didn't. Honest, I didn't. I had the gun and I was gone.
Oh, Chris, don't say any more. You mustn't talk until you see your lawyer.
Lawyer? I ain't got no lawyer.
Yes. Wayne Sellers is going to be your lawyer.
It won't do no good.
Yes, it will now, Chris. I know it will. Besides, I'm going to pray for you.
Time's up, miss.
Look, Chris, I can send you candy and everything you like. Goodbye.
You come again?
Yes. I'll be here every day. Remember.
Oh, criminal law, huh? Hoping to get yourself a murder case?
I've got one.
Huh?
I'm on the Corson case.
You're what?
I'm going to defend the boy.
You're going to do nothing of the kind?
Oh, yes, I am. I believe he's innocent.
Oh, innocence. Nonsense. I know that case. He threatened a man several times, and he was found standing over his body with a gun. Now, what more do you want?
I know. He's trying to stop a drunken brute from marrying a girl who was young enough to be his daughter.
Oh, I see. So it's the girl you're interested in. Did she hire you to defend this boy?
Oh, that's beside the point. I'm interested in the boy as a human being. I want to see that he gets justice.
I'll take care of that. I know these swappers better than you do. I've had plenty of experience with them. They're a bad lot. Just common, no good, illiterate trash. All of them.
I don't want to go through that with you again.
Well, neither do I want to go through it. And I won't. I've given you my opinion once, and I expect that to end the matter.
And I've taken an oath to protect the innocent, and I'm going through with it whether I have to defend an aristocrat or trash.
If you go against me in this, if you persist in your faith in that boy and girl and these worthless people, you can get out. Now give me your word that you won't take this case or pack your bags. Oh, Mrs. Parker, did you hear that?
I couldn't help it here. Oh, what a fine boy.
Fine. When he defies me, after all I've done for him, after all the plans his mother had made for him.
If his mother were here, she'd be proud of him, too.
Proud of him? Why? Because he's mixed up with a lot of swampers?
Sit down. You happen to remember your first case? You remember the responsibility you felt for your client? Well, your son feels the same way. And instead of helping him, you're condemning him.
But you don't understand, Mrs. Parker. If Wayne takes this case, I won't be allowed to sit on the bench.
Oh, so that's it. So for purely selfish reasons, you'll rob your son of his great opportunity. and prevent his defending this poor boy.
Oh, fiddlesticks. He doesn't care anything about the boy. He's taken that case because he's interested in that girl. And who is she? A common, ordinary...
That's enough. You don't know anything about this girl, but I do. And you're acting like a narrow-minded, bigoted old fossil. And you aren't fit to be a judge.
They're no good. There's your precedent. State versus Williams. Be up on that.
When they call on you, see if you can't say something to help Chris. Appears to me like young Sellers ain't doing very much for him.
Yeah. Why didn't you put in a good word for him when you were up there? You act like you were scared to death.
I was. When they get you on that witness stand, you find out how thin your blood is. Everyone stand up.
Be seated.
The case of State versus Christopher Cass will now resume.
Miss Laurie Mears, take the stand, please. How long have you known the defendant?
About 2 years.
You think a lot of him, don't you?
Yes,
And he thinks a lot of you, doesn't he?
I think so.
You and he were together quite often, weren't you?
Yes,
All alone?
yes.
And you talked to him about Jed Corson?
Not always.
But usually.
Yes,
He told you that he hated Jed Corson.
sometimes.
Several times?
Yes.
And he said that he was going to kill Jed Corson. Answer that question. You heard him threaten to kill Jed Corson, didn't you?
Yes.
Why doesn't the young fool object? He's putting answers into the mouth of the witness.
Be patient.
Where was this?
Well, once after he'd been beaten for cutting his hand. Beaten because Mr. Corson said he did it on purpose to get out of work.
I move that...
Let it remain. Go on with your questions.
When was the last time you heard him threaten to kill his master?
At Mr. Nathan's.
Was that the occasion referred to by Mr. and Mrs. Nathan?
Yes, sir.
And did he say that he would kill Mr. Corson in order to prevent his marriage to you?
Yes.
And did you suggest that he should wait until after your marriage to the rich Mr. Corson?
Don't answer. He hasn't sense enough to see that the judge is with him.
Reframe that question.
Was there anything said at the time about waiting until after your marriage?
No.
And did you plan such a crime?
Oh, no.
There was no understanding between you?
Eight. She's already answered no. I must warn you against any further attempt to confuse this witness. Mr. Sellers, have you made any preparation for your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pa, why don't he do something?
I don't think he knows very much.
What was the defendant's objections to your marrying Mr. Corson?
Well, He hated him. And he was afraid he'd beat me, too.
And did you have the same hatred and fear of him?
Yes, I was afraid.
Then why did you want to marry him?
Well, I could see that I could get away from poverty and have things.
Oh, so you were marrying him for money, and you saw your opportunity for escape through this boy.
Well, that's not so.
Your witness.
Miss Mayer, if you'll answer my question simply and calmly, I won't keep you long. I know you must be tired after the unwarranted and disgusting grilling to which you have been subjected.
Your Honor, I take exception to counsel's inference.
Go it, boy, go it.
To which you have been subjected by this shyster. Is that plain to you?
Why, you young...
I fine you both for contempt of court.
I apologize, Rod.
I apologize.
If you had any objections to action of counsel, you had plenty of opportunity to enter them. Proceed with witness.
What was your interest in Chris?
Well, you see, I wanted to help him. I wanted to teach him to read and write. Because I think books make ugly things seem more beautiful.
Did you hate the deceased Corson?
I never let myself hate anyone. You see, well, it's not good to hate.
In the whole world, isn't there someone that you have hated?
Oh, I can't say.
You testified that if you married, you could escape poverty. Who told you that?
Oh, please, that's not fair.
Well, is the one who influenced you the one that you hate?
I don't know.
Was it Corson who promised you relief from poverty?
Well, not to me.
To whom?
To me. I made her do it. I lied about her Ma and Pa. I told her her Ma drowned herself. All lies. It's me she hates, me. I'm the one that's a criminal. Not that poor boy who had the courage to try and save her. She hates me. I've lost her. And I never knew till now. She's all I ever had. All I ever loved. Nora.
Sit down, lady. Sit down. You must be quiet. Quiet in court here.
Order. Any more demonstrations and I shall have to clear the court.
That's all.
Your Honor will please inform the jury to disregard the play acting that has been perpetrated here.
The jury will disregard. Any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
You may call your witnesses.
Christopher Cass, will you take the stand?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your right name.
Christopher Cass.
Be seated.
Night of July 10th, were you at Jed Corson's place?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to the barn?
Yes, sir.
What happened there?
I called to Mr. Corson and told him that...
Give the exact words.
I called to him and said, Mr. Corson, one of your horses is sick. He came to me. I pointed the gun at him and said, you ain't gonna marry her.
Was the gun cocked?
Yes, sir.
Was your finger on the trigger?
Yes, sir.
Well, what else was said?
He said, it's all a joke. I'm gonna adopt Lori. You're gonna have her.
And then what happened?
He grabbed the gun away from me. He said, I'm gonna beat you within an inch of your life. Then he jammed the butt of the gun down against the grindstone. It exploded. Killed him. That's all.
When your finger was on the trigger of that gun, would you swear that you didn't press it?
Yes, sir.
And when the gun was seized from you, would you say that your finger didn't press the trigger?
Yes, sir.
You say that after Mr. Corson was in possession of that gun, he told you he was going to beat you.
Yes, sir.
If he said that, didn't he see the gun?
No, sir.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, sir.
You didn't see the hammer of that gun strike the grindstone?
No, sir, but it must have.
And you don't know how that gun was discharged, do you?
No, sir.
But it could have been discharged when he pulled the gun away from you.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
May I have this? With Your Honor's permission, I'll ask the defendant to reenact what actually happened. I show this gun. You recognize it?
Yes, that's the gun I had.
Which hammer was cocked?
That one.
And this is the trigger that explodes the shell in that barrel.
Yes, sir.
And this is the trigger that your finger was on.
Yes, sir.
Stand up. Take the gun, point it at me exactly as you did at Jed Corson. Is that the way it was?
Yes, sir.
Open it up. Now pull the trigger.
But, Mr. Sellers, you got a loaded shell in there.
Pull the trigger.
No, sir.
Pull it. That's all.
Any questions?
No question.
Witness excused.
Abner Bates, will you take the stand? Do you recognize this gun?
Yes, do.
How long has it been in your possession?
Well, ever since I took it away from the boy at the scene of the shooting.
Did you make any alterations in the mechanism of the gun?
No, I didn't.
Has anyone tampered with it?
Well, I should say not.
That's all.
Questions?
No question.
Witness excused.
Gentlemen, upon examining this gun when it was first introduced as evidence, I made a discovery which my learned opponent had overlooked. This gun could not have been discharged by use of the trigger, of either trigger. There are no springs in the gun. Therefore, it must have been discharged exactly as my client has testified.
You see the gun, please.
Defense rests.
In sight of the evidence already presented, I feel that further instruction by me is unnecessary. The jury will therefore retire and decide their verdict.
We find the defendant not guilty.
But I had to say what I did.
Oh, Wayne, it's all right. Everything's all right.
Well, don't go. I've got so much to say to you.
I'll be back. I'll be back, really.
Hey, why didn't you introduce that gun in evidence before?
Well, it's all over now. You can live with us.
And I'm going to send you to school.
Well, what do you think?
Was everything you said the truth?
You mean about your ma? Yes.
No. I mean, about loving me. Oh, Lord.